What is up, guys? Fate Apocrypha, episode 1, First Impressions. Alright, so here's the thing. I started reading the first chapter of Apocrypha, then I found out there was a TV show coming out, so I stopped so I can get the experience through that. If you haven't seen Phase Zero and Stay Night, I back out. If you don't know who the servants are and don't want to know, I'd also back out. Pretty much that's all I know. I don't know how the story plays out or anything. Then you combine that with the fact that I'm versed with Fate in general, and there's elements that I know inadvertently that help me bring things full circle. So it's gonna seem like I read it, but I really haven't. So to start, we have what appears to be Ruler with her hair down, and based on the marks on this guy's hand and the syllables while she's speaking, I believe she was saying that he's her master. And to further support this, it pretty much blatantly says it in the preview at the end. I am Joan of Arc. Then the guy looks exactly like one of the homunculi that they introduced later on in the episode, giving more focus to him than the others. Now, Darnick specifically said that he's using the homunculi to give Caster of the Black infinite energy for the war. The weird thing about this is that, from what I understand, Ruler is there to mediate the war. I would think that she wouldn't even need a master, but then again, she is still a servant nonetheless, so I guess so. If he is supporting her as a master, then that would mean that he's more capable than all the fodder homunculi combined. So we gotta keep an eye on him. Next scene, they fast forward us into the war. And what is this? A1 Pictures trying to give Ufotable some competition? Gorgeous fight scenes, brilliant music. Animation was a little choppy here and there, but the good outweighs the bad, and for me, that's a good start. There's nothing like seeing somebody get stabbed in the chest. Absolutely marvelous. Finally get to see Joan animated too. I also noticed that she gave a lot of attention to the sky, so I assume that's the Greater Grail, which is usually vertical in the sky, but this is a haphazard war, so I'm not too surprised that things are being orchestrated a little different. The golem she's fighting against is calling her this cruel oppressor and telling her she should repent as if she did something wrong. I never saw Joan as a bad character, especially considering that she has an alternate evil version. So I wonder exactly what the golem means when he says that. Then we have Shiro Kotomi, the quote-unquote supervisor, who's supposed to be fighting for the red faction. Yet, I see no red. They're all dressed in black. Now, spoiler, apparently this guy is supposed to be like the Kirei of Apocrypha. Say no more. If anyone knows who Kirei is, there's nothing else to be said except prepare yourself for the fuckery. From this shot alone, I can just feel some malicious intent. I mean, everybody's on the ground fighting and they're all just sitting back in the cut like they're plotting. We already know that Millennia's side controls the golems and the homunculi, but we also see the Dragon 2 warriors down there getting busy. Now, if you remember Fate Stay Night, Medea also summoned these same warriors, and she was a caster. So somebody here is a mage. The girl next to him said that Shiro is her master later on in the episode as well. But I know the guy in the back is a caster. So she can't be the mage. So she must be the assassin. That also makes sense considering that servants usually align with the personality of their owner. What is an assassin? Cunning, sneaky, perfect fit. The problem with this is, if Shiro is supposed to be a part of the red faction, he would have to give Rocco a reason to believe that. We know Darnick is a master, then the 4 from his clan, then the kid that was talking to Caster must be his master through association. That's 6, never got the reveal for the last one. Unless they're counting that homunculus with Joan. I feel like Shiro might be playing both sides of the fence. I don't know. Or if he really is like Kirei, you know, before Kirei got Gilgamesh, he originally summoned Assassin. Then he ended up with two other servants by the end of Stay Night. A lot of stuff going on there. It appears that most of the servants are fighting one-on-one. Siegfried and Mordred, height. Really love her voice acting, a lot of emotion. You can really tell that she's getting into it. It feels like I'm in the studio with her. And when she says, "You'll fall now, Saber of the Black," plus calling him a fake, really gave me those Archer Gilgamesh vibes. Come to find out, she's actually Kurapika's actor from Hunter x Hunter, and Shiro Kotamine is Maruam. Thought that was real dope. I've seen this guy before. I think it's Karna, who's supposed to be one of the strongest servants in Fate, period. Like Gilgamesh level broken. Don't know how true that is, but yeah. And I know the guy he's fighting is Lancer of the Black. Really excited to see both of these characters. Lancer of the Black just seems like he has the sauce. You see Darnik commanding all these people, yet he's kind of bowing down to Lancer even though he's his master. I have no idea who either of these guys are, but the dude in the back is holding the bow, so Archer, I suppose. Then I know the guy in the front is a rider. No idea who this girl is. I just know that she's an archer too. Even though she kind of looks like an assassin right here because she's up in the trees hiding. That can be true considering that we have two assassins already. We have the girl with Shiro, and then there's supposed to be a white-haired lowly somewhere, but I didn't see her in this episode unless she's a shapeshifter, which would also be crazy, but maybe she'll pop up soon as well. After all this, we get the good old exposition. And this is where the people who weren't already fans fall asleep. Nah, but seriously, if you've seen Fate, this is nothing new. That's the hook for the show. You know, they try to entice you with the fight, and then right after they hit you with the info dump from hell. I mean, these people are really lucky because in Zero, you didn't get any action until like the third episode. Personally, I don't have a problem with it because I know it's just world building and basically just a recap for me. But for others, I think they should have implemented the third Holy Grail War. That way you keep the viewer engaged, it adds more depth to the universe, and it doesn't just seem like they're sitting down wasting time explaining these points. As far as I know, they have no intentions of adapting the third war, so with this being a spinoff and all, I feel like that would be a real good place to put it in. Wouldn't feel contrived, and ultimately it'd just be good fan service. So we got my boy El Malloy II, aka Waver from Fate Zero, and Flatiscardos. Now, the only reason I know this guy is because I have read some of Fate's Strange Fate, and this scenario is very similar, if not the same interactions they had in Strange Fate. I thought that was pretty cool. Didn't know these timelines were so alike. Then we have Rocco getting into what the war is and why it's happening this way. 7 masters and servants versus 7 masters and servants. What I didn't know is that the side who wins has to fight each other afterwards. Never knew that. That shit's fucking crazy. So they're all enemies from the jump, even as a team. I also think there's a bit of a mistranslation here. Rocco kept saying the Great Grail, but he also said it's an artifact. Now, when we're talking about the actual Greater Grail, we're speaking of the big hole in the sky. The Lesser Grail is the actual tangible item that's a part of the ritual. So when he keeps saying Great Grail, retrieve the Great Grail, it can cause some confusion with the terminology. And I know it's already intricate enough for some people, so no need to make it more convoluted than it already is. He says they sent 50 of their best magi and they all got cleaned up by Lancer of the Black. You even see him in the back behind Darnik, even though they give Darnik the most focus to throw you off. He even kept one alive so he can get the point across. Now the way he killed them, I can't really tell if it's the Grail mud or is that Lancer's power with the blood flowing on top. Pretty gruesome either way. Next scene. Darnik and Caster of the Black. What really intrigued me here was the actual chess game and how the red pawn was on the floor when Darnik won. I feel like this could be alluding to two things. One, he wants Darnik to feel like he's winning when he's actually not. Two, one of the servants from the red faction is going to be the first to fall. Not sure which though. And then Caster goes on to say that he has no desire for the Greater Grail. He wants his ancient golem. So right off the bat, there's friction between ideals and things are just getting started. And Caster said this right behind Darnik. Like, fuck you, basically. I know Darnik heard that shit, so either he doesn't care or he's always ready. Cause you gotta think, Darnik is supplying Caster with the homunculized energy, so as soon as he doesn't need him anymore, I think he could just cut him off. Unless Caster beats Darnik first, but Darnik seems way too calculating and important for it to go down like that. Last scene is the summoning. We have the 4 people from Darnik's clan, and I'm just gonna assume that their alignment is parallel to their corresponding servant. So the fat dude has Siegfried. Something about that big ass scar on Siegfried's chest tells me he's not a pushover. Wheelchair has the dude on the left. Guy in the back has the servant in the back, who I think is Berserker, because when they were pledging their loyalty, it was the only servant that didn't talk. And as we know, Berserker usually doesn't talk because they're consumed by the rage. The girl on the right, who I think is a masochist because for some reason she's blushing when the only thing Darnik was doing was talking, she has the pink one, who's a rider. I'm gonna let y'all know right now, you're not gonna hear this anywhere else. I kept seeing best trap of 2017, trap of the year, so you know me, I'm like, who a trap? Cause nobody so far looked like a trap. And then I found out. This pink-haired hoe, I don't know how, I don't know why, but for some reason, this is a fucking man. Don't fall for the shit, bruh. They really out here trying to get people that's so trifling, man. And with that, I am through. Oh my God, man, they're looking. Does this look like a man to you? Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy Tsiah. I'm out.